What are you doing now? That you left whatever you were doing before to do. What is it that you're doing now?
All right, so own and run a video production company.
Mm-hmm.
So we specialize in shooting commercials and content creation for small businesses, small to medium sized businesses, and overall just branding. So we help businesses tell their story. One thing you'll notice is that there's a lot of great graphic designers out there. There's a lot of great businesses out there, all that good stuff. But if your audience can't connect to your brand and make that connection, what's the point of it? So I don't try. My company specializes in telling those stories to help them connect with their audience on a emotional level, essentially. And once you've connected with somebody emotionally, you can sell them whatever you want.
You got them.
You can sell them water or sand at the beach. So that's kind of the focus of what Believe Media, what we do at Believe Media. I think you asked earlier as well what that process was like leaving. That was stressful. That's what it was. I had a vision in my mind before I left my job that there was a certain amount of money I needed in the bank first. And my goal was always, and again, if y'all know me, I'm gonna speak candidly. I'll tell y'all numbers. I don't care. It's whatever. And I say that because I had so many questions that people weren't answering because they were afraid to talk about salary or numbers. And it left me in a weird place like, okay, well, what am I supposed to, like, it didn't help. Like, what am I supposed to charge people? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So, and people, when they stray away from like creatives specifically, they always feel like it's a competition thing. And I'm like, no. And I used to be that way. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been jealous of other creators all day. But it took me some time to realize and grow out of that place to understand that, one, there's enough money to go around. Two, I am the best at what I do. There is no other Alex Bailey. There is no other Gibson. There is no other Mark. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do what you do. Even if we do the same thing. You're still better at you.
For sure.
And it took me some growing up to finally understand that. So backtracking a little bit about like kind of where I started that vision of having, a year's salary saved in the bank. At that time I was making, I don't know, like $52,000 a year. So my goal was, all right, I need to save $52,000. So God forbid anything happens, I can still take care of home. That never happened.
Right.
I might have $1,000. Like maybe.
The vision is good.
Yeah, the vision was great. The execution part I wasn't doing so good on. So, and mind you, simultaneously we were working on buying a house. So it was like I was trying to clear up some last minute debt that I had left over from credit card stuff. And again, I have credit card debt to this day. I'm okay with it because it's all business related.
But you need it.
First of all, yes.
You need that.
That's why my credit is where it's at now. In the good way.
In the good way. Pay it. But you need to have it.
Sure.
You need to have the history.
You have to have the history. And we learned that the hard way, especially when we bought our house. But, whatever the case may be. So I looked at that situation like, all right, well, I don't have the money saved. I don't have really anything set up in place. I don't have any processes. I don't have a system. I don't have people that I'm really working with to say, hey, go do this or I'll do this. I had nothing going on for me. I had two things. I had a wife who believed in what I was doing, and I had a God, a heavenly Father, who was like, yo, just step out. I got you.
Alex right here.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for your time.
Wow, we're going to collect the offering now? What's going on?
Not the offering. Not the offering.
Let me pull out the organ.
No, I'm done with you, man. Let's go ahead and get this benediction. No, man. So it was literally a leap of faith. And I'm going to try and keep it really short as possible. It's a long story.
Good.
So the long and short of it was my job at that time. I was a graphic designer at a marketing agency. And at that time, they were going through some financial situations, whatever the case may be. And they ended up letting go a couple of people, blase. Cool. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm still the best at what I do. I'm secure. I'm good. Fine. A few weeks after that, they cut everybody's pay. So I was like, oh, all right. I wasn't expecting that one. You know what I mean? Like it threw me for a loop. So I remember, I'll never forget that day. I came home and, wifey was like, yo, what's wrong? Why you look like that? I was like, that's some bad news. They're cutting our pay at work. Mind you, we're in the midst of talking about buying a house in the next couple of months. So we're like, okay. So, she took it way worse than I did. In my mind, I was like, all right, cool. You know what?
Of course you would. Of course you would.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm like, all right, well, it sucks, but yeah, whatever. We're good. She was so upset. Like, Not on some like, oh, you're making less money type of thing. You know, it was on
Why
some
now?
like, why now? Like we're trying to
have
build. Like,
plans.
why now?
Yeah.
So she went to her mode for like a good half an hour. She did. She's like, I'll be back. Go for a walk. You know, my wife, she goes for a walk. It's serious, right?
Ooh.
So I was like, oh dang, okay, this is really
Ooh.
serious.
Wow.
So I was like, damn, bro, let me
Let
get
me
these,
rethink this.
these papers together. So I don't know what's about to happen. She comes back inside and she looks me in my eyes. Come here. I was like, all right, dang, mom, what's up? She looks me in the eyes and she says to me, what is it going to take for you to launch your own business? What? Mind you, at least she knows.
Wow.
This has been my dream since I was like in high school.
Mm.
To be my own, to follow my footsteps of my father and be an entrepreneur, own my own. This has always been my dream. When I started photography a decade ago, 10 years I've been waiting for this moment right here. So when she came to me with that, I was like, all right, you know, I don't have like anything saved up in preparation for this. Like, this is like 2 years ahead of schedule right now. She was like, I didn't ask you all that. What is it going to take? All right. I don't know. Shoot, I didn't think about that. let me put some, you know, make some calls or whatever. So she was like, all right, we got to start praying about this and start working on this. Like, we have a new plan in place. I was like, all right, cool, fine. That was like a Friday or a Saturday or something like that. I don't remember what day it was, whatever. That same Sunday, we got up to go to church, but we got up late. Little man slept in late. It was a whole thing. We didn't go. So she pulls up a sermon online on YouTube to watch. This is my first time ever watching or even hearing about Michael Todd. So you already know.
No
all right?
time it is.
This is in the middle. We caught like the fourth message of his Crazy Faith series, the infamous Crazy Faith series from 2019. This is the first time I've ever seen him, any of that. He opens the sermon and says, man, sometimes you got to trust God. Don't be afraid to start that business. Don't be afraid to step out on faith. I almost jumped out, dropped off the couch. And wait a minute. You put him up to this? Threw me for a loop. So I was like, dang, God, what are you saying to me right now? All right, cool. Still don't have no money. Cool. So a couple days later, a friend of mine who we don't speak often at all, we talk maybe 3 times a year, like calls me out the blue. Yeah, you know, Alex, I had a dream that you started a company.
Oh, wow.
This is 2 days after that message. 3 days after Alicia and I had the conversation about what it takes. I was like, all right, say less, God. You playing games. All right, say less. Went in grind mode now. Now I'm looking at all my resources, looking at all my connects, who I have, who I can reach out to, how I can build a business that's going to sustain itself, take care of my family, provide for me. That, you know, because at the end of the day, God, as much as I trust you, I cannot allow my family to suffer because of my passion, my aspirations. That's huge for me. So he's like, yo, I got you. He just kept on sending people to reaffirm what he's already told me. Desleen came to me, Grantley came to me, and was like, bro, this you were made for this. Let's go. What are we talking about right now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So after all that confirmation hit, I was like, yo, I think I can do this. Then I started believing in myself, slowly but surely. Everybody around me saw it, but I didn't. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna take a leap of faith.
Yes,
and my biggest philosophy was this, man. At that time, I was 29. I said to myself, yo, if I do this for 2 solid years, commit to it. If I fail, I still got 30 years I can make up for it.
Yes.
I'll never be this young ever again.
Right.
I will never have this opportunity ever again. I will never have another wife who believes in me like this.
Oh, that's huge, man.
That is huge.
And that has to be the mindset, bro.
Oh my God.
So I'm that was like the quick and dirty of it. How, you know, I took that leap of faith and decided to step out, quit my job, put my 2 weeks notice in. Funny enough, they hired me back to do consulting work for them, which I'm doing right now.
Full circle.
I'm doing video stuff now. So I think it's hilarious, bro. But even during this journey of this, we just started year 3 of our business. We just hit the 2-year mark back in September. And it's been a journey, man. And like, there's been so many like little messages I've gotten, even in those hard times. Again, being candid, in December of last year, 2020, I was in that, you know, they always talk about feast or famine. I was in that feast mode. Like, all right, cool. I've been working, got money. We're not like balling, but bills are taken care of. And there's a little extra left over just in case anything. We're comfortable. We're good. January comes and I was working like a dog, like every day. I'm putting like 60, 70 hours in each week. Not a single dollar came into my bank account for the entire month of January. And it was because, and you guys know, video production people, especially working with businesses, sometimes they invoice you for 30 days, 45 days, 90 days. I had some government clients as well who they don't pay you for 45 to 90 days. So there was money out there. It's just, it wasn't,
pending.
it's pending.
Wow.
So I was working harder than ever before now, all of a sudden. And all of January, halfway through February, almost at the end of February before I finally got a check. It was the most uncomfortable I've been financially since I stepped out and said, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. And in that time was when the lessons came. It was like when I finally resurfaced, it was like, okay, I can breathe again. Like there's a little comfort, there's a little, you know, a little cushion now. Is when I had to reevaluate everything that I was doing. And I realized that my business structure was wrong. How I was charging people was wrong. What I was charging people was wrong. And I wasn't charging my true worth of my time. And that was my issue. And I was bending over backwards for clients, man. I didn't have anything to show for it. Not even work that I was proud of. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so like busy
with other stuff.
I couldn't pay attention like I normally do. When I got out of that season, I was like, man, this has got to change. Everything's got to change. And it took that L to really be like, all right, I got to take a step back and realize I've been working in the business and not on the business. And that's always the biggest thing that I never understood until that moment. So